Hey, DeShone, he was just telling us that there were problems with communication from him to you. The radio thing was malfunctioning. What was that like to deal with?
Yeah, it's part of the game. The play comes in on the earpiece. It breaks in and out sometimes. Sometimes you don't get it at all. It's on the quarterback to understand the game plan, understand the personnel that's in the game, to get us into a proper play if it doesn't get in, and if not, then being able to interpret, whatever does come into the microphone and make sure that you can finish out the play so the team can properly get the play.
So how did that affect things for you yesterday?
I feel as if you're on the ball. We're snapping the ball in time for the most part. It just, we're a little later in the play clock for a majority of the time, which causes us to, rush our communication on the protections and things like that. But for the most part, we're able to endure through it.
Sean, what do you wish you could have back from yesterday?
There's some balls where there's some opportunities that if I could maybe keep it a foot inside or a foot lower, it gives a guy an opportunity to go up and make the play rather than trying to throw a perfect ball every time. Obviously, those last two drives and end the way we'd like them to. If we can end with a field goal or just something positive at the end of the second to last drive there, hopefully we'd have a chance at the end of the game to go down and score and either tie or win the game.
You said you noticed you were down today, and he encouraged you to, get the energy going. Kind of where's your mindset at in that way?
It's another loss. You spend a lot of time preparing. You spend a lot of time, developing yourself individually to go out and succeed, and to go out there after another great week of preparation, another confident week going into the game on Sunday, and not come out successful. It's pretty frustrating. You allow it to get to you for 24 hours. You learn from it, and then you prepare yourself for next week.
Was part of your frustration the fact that you were just coming off a pretty good individual performance, and we've talked about it before, Deshaun, but it's like kind of an up and down thing. Is that just frustrating?
I just want to win a game. That's all.
Is that why? Did you feel any worse after this game as opposed to other games?
Yeah, you keep stacking them up. There's continued opportunities in front of you, and obviously you can feel that number shrinking. And the closer you get to the end of the season without achieving the goals that you have, the more frustrated you become.
When you look at some of the throws that you tried to make to Josh, how much do you attribute to lack of practice time or lack of game time even, and how much do you think I just need to make a better throw?
I think there's an even share of both of those. Understanding, where he wants the ball, how he wants to go up and get it when it is contested, and then again, obviously location on some of those passes. I think that there's quite a few opportunities within that game where if I just give a guy a chance to go up and make a play with his size and his ability, he'll come down with it.
Was there one that stood out more than any other one?
There's a couple of those up. I mean, there's two in particular that he's running down the sideline, has a step on a guy. Two different plays where one's overthrown where I should have maybe gave him a chance back shoulder, another one where you got to allow him to get to his full stride and go up and make a play over the top of the guys, and those plays sometimes end in touchdowns.
Was that a situation where maybe you were a little, I don't know, surprised is the right word, but just something you're not used to seeing a guy with that kind of speed and be able to get on?
No, I mean we have guys with that speed. We just every guy when you're dealing with a contested play wants the ball differently. Some guys want it high and backside where they can turn around and go up. Other guys want to be able to turn on their second gear and get to the next level and have the ball out in front. I'll be able to talk to Josh, watch that film with him, learn from it today and be able to go out this week and improve on it.
When you said yesterday, sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's super fast when Josh is out there running. So what did that exactly mean by that?
I don't recall saying that. Fast and super fast.
That's what the quote I read.
He's a heck of an athlete. Once again, we'll continue to learn. The more time I spend with him, the more I'll understand where he wants the ball so he can go up and make plays.
You probably heard your whole life there's nothing like game reps. Is that even more true in the NFL?
Absolutely. It's when you're game planning for a defense, obviously specific looks are drawn up for specific plays, and things adjust in games. And you got to be able to adjust properly to those. And I think that each week we've been able to go out there with a good game plan, and we've had specific times within games where we're not executing at the highest level, and I think that comes. The better we get, the more game reps we get as a team, the more we'll be able to properly adjust to those specific situations and games.
He was talking today about how invaluable this experience is for you this season, and how he thinks that you'll be significantly better in year 2. Can you see just how painful this is for you to go through this year? How much farther ahead you're going to be for next season, having gone through this?
Absolutely. I think that that's a conversation for the off season. That's a conversation for later down the road. Right now, we want to worry about winning a game against Green Bay. But it is obvious that after spending a lot of time in this system, getting as many starts as I'll be able to get this year, that I'll have the proper game planning going into an off season to understand where I need to work on. How I can better develop chemistry with the guys around us. But until then, it's about taking a short amount of time and a week's preparation to be able to get that same goal accomplished.
With that, Doug, do you think it's important for you to be in the same system next year to make that progression?
I think it'd be valuable. I think that a lot of the better quarterbacks in this league have showed success consistently because they are in that same system. If you go back and look at the guys who are doing it at the highest level, from Peyton up until he retired, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, those guys have all been in the same system, been able to maximize their off seasons and their amount of time in this league because of that.
How much better do you think you've gotten with accuracy since you got here, and how much more is that focus? How much more do you have to do there?
Yeah, accuracy is everything in this league. Once again, there's a lot that goes into completing passes, and the more I'll be able to be here and learning how my teammates want the ball, how the system is going to work to get those guys the ball, the better and more accurate I'll become.
Do you derive any comfort from a guy like a Jared Goff? His numbers and his record were not good last year, and now he's playing really well, and he's improved so much. Do you take any solace in that?
Not necessarily solace, but it's obvious now after spending as much time as I've spent, as a starter here, to see how much the game can slow down, and you start learning the different tools that you can have within the offense that you run. Everything, I think, comes with time, and in the situation we're in this year, obviously I didn't have a bunch of time to get to where I wanted to be. At this point right now, and our record shows it. But I do believe is that the more that I spend with this team, the more that I spend in this system, the more games that I get to play in, the better I'm going to become, and the better I'll be able to help the guys around me play at a higher level.
You guys implemented not being able to finish, obviously, games all season long, but how different is the fourth quarter than the rest of the game?
Well, it's very different. You allow a team to make their proper adjustments to things that you're doing well. You're making adjustments as an offense. Obviously the pressure comes on. There's a lot of things that go into the fourth quarter, and I've learned quickly that in this league, the ultimate goal is just to be in a position to win in the fourth quarter, and then the fourth quarter needs to be a whole new concept on how you can execute at an even higher level, because that's when guys are playing at their best. When you're playing in a league where you have so much talent, those guys are turning it on just as much as you want to turn it on in the fourth quarter. So we got to be able to match that and then surpass it to be able to get wins.
Do you feel yourself change at all? I mean, is there more nervousness, more adrenaline, anything?
No, Coach Lee continues to say the same message that I've learned to live by, and that's in the fourth quarter. You got to go back to the fundamentals that got you there. For us, I think as a quarterback room, we do a good job with the sideline communication to make sure that we're just simply trying to execute our job. When you try to add a bunch of things and trying to make an extra play or trying to extend a play for extra time is when we've run into some fumbles and some turnovers. So for me, it's just about going back to making sure that I'm executing the basic fundamentals that got me to the position right there.
DeShone, have the personal pep talks gotten harder to do after 12 losses and the emotional toll that this kind of season takes on you?
Not necessarily. I think that the opportunity that you have playing against new teams, playing against new defensive coordinators, learning about the game, learning about your own teammates. There's new challenges each week that it's pretty exciting to be in the job that I'm in, to be able to go and face those. Obviously, it's going to be a very storied team this week with Green Bay that I've been able to watch and see some of the success that they've had as a team. And now I get to figure out how to game plan and develop myself and get myself in a position to go out there and try to battle a team who's consistently had a lot of success.
So when will yesterday clear your system?
I'll go watch the game one more time today, and by this evening we'll be watching Green Bay film and ready to accept a new challenge.
What kind of growth have you seen from David? I know you guys are close. But what kind of growth have you seen from him as a player, and just what did he give you yesterday that kind of stood out?
Yeah, being two of the youngest guys on the team, we're kind of going through a lot of the same issues. Having some ups and downs, going through some roller coaster experiences, and I've seen that he's kind of attacking it the same way I am. Where each week he's setting himself some small goals, whether it be something in a blocking game, something in the passing game. I think that he and I both know that he can be one of the big game changers with some big plays down the field, and he's been able to make those in the last couple of games. And we'll look for him to continue to do that, but also develop his game as a whole.
On that fumble, did you just feel like you had an extra tick? Or on film, did Bosa close faster than you thought he would?
Yeah. You step up in the pocket. My eyes are downfield, obviously looking to make that play, understanding where you are on the field. I knew that we had 3 in our pocket. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to rush for the touchdown. So 25 yards versus 15 yards, obviously isn't that big of a buffer for us. But so I'm trying to make a play throwing the ball there, and I didn't have eyes in the back of my head there, and didn't really feel that pressure when Bosa came. And obviously he made a good play on the ball and got it out from me.
DeShone, you alluded to the chances are dwindling, only 4 games left. Do you feel any pressure at all, or do you sense any pressure in the locker room knowing there's only 4 games?
No. Once again, I think that we all understand that every defensive coordinator we go against, every team we go against is a new opportunity for us to go out and create a specific game plan for that team. This is going to be my first time playing against Green Bay, obviously, and a lot of guys' first time on this team playing against Green Bay. So we'll accept that challenge for what it is, and then when we are playing those repeat games, it's an opportunity to clean up from the week before. So I think we do a good job with focusing in each week on just going 1-0, and I don't necessarily feel the pressure of the season the win this season that everyone continues to talk about. It's more about just making sure that we're doing whatever we can to develop individually and try to take these last 4 games to show who we are moving into next year.
How do you keep believing in yourself? How do you keep from letting your confidence get rattled this time?
You go back to seeing who you were. To be in this league, at some point in time, you had to experience some success, and who you are when you're experiencing that success is who you need to be right now in order to get over that hump. I think last year, going through the battles I went through at Notre Dame and now going through the battles now, it's all going to be experiences I can pull from when we do get over this hump. And that to see how close it is, I think is what is driving us as a team to continue to have the energy that we have each week to try to prepare ourselves to go get that first win.
When you look at your turnover numbers, the interceptions and the lost fumbles, do you feel like you could have or can still cut way down on those that you guys will win a game?
Absolutely. I think that this season goes to show how important it is not to turn the ball over and to go get turnovers on the defensive side for a team to win. We'll continue to make that an emphasis and trying to keep the ball out of harm's way, especially in the fourth quarter and in the red zone.